welcome to Mental Moments, where small changes can have lasting ripples. This week, I've been talking about anxiety, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most common mental mistakes or thought errors that we make that leads to anxiety, and that is chances are. Okay, let's say that you have a fear of flying. You come in and you say, Rhonda, I have this fear of flying. And I'm like, well, first, let's clarify. You don't have a fear of flying, you have a fear of crashing and dying. You have that fear of the plane literally falling out of the sky. That's where the fear is coming from. Okay, now when we have that chances are mental mistake, what we're saying is our brain is like, yep, it is going to happen. 100% going to happen. It's just going to happen. That plane's going to, and we're dead. That's it. That is because we're making the mental mistake of confusing possibility and probability. You know, as they say, pretty much anything is possible. And it is. Is it possible for planes to fall out of the sky? Oh, you bet. Oh, you bet. And we almost get this impression that more planes fall out of the sky than actually do. Why is that? Because they're so rare that when they do fall out of the sky, boy, is it on the 9 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, the 5 a.m. news. It's on our news feeds. Oh my gosh, pictures, videos, etc. And so when they do crash, and they usually don't have great survival records. So yes, it seems like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. So what are the actual chances of dying in a plane crash? Well, I just looked up the statistics, and the NTSB says that your chances of being killed in an air flight are 1 in 4.7 million. And if you fly only airlines in the top 50% by safety record, like most people do, your odds drop to 1 in 19.8 million. That's pretty good. Now, when I say you're in more danger of dying on your way to the airport, I ain't whistling Dixie. Because listen to this. According to the NTSB, again, the chances of dying in a car collision are about 1 in 101. I live in a state where we do a lot of driving because we're remote and a lot of distances, and it is not unusual that people die. Now, it's never on the news. They never reported on the news saying, overnight in New Mexico, we had, 22 car crashes and, 9 people died. No, they don't do that because we're like, it's every day, not a big deal. It's not going to get ratings. But let, an airplane crash, and oh my gosh, that's leading news. And then that gives us the impression that it is a higher risk than it really, really is. So when it comes to chances are, and remember, if you're feeling anxious about something and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do that, chances are your brain is making the determinations that, one, it's possible, and two, it's 100% likely going to happen. So how do you counter that? You need facts. Facts are your friends. So look it up. If you're afraid of dying in a house fire, how many house fires and how many people die where if you're in the United States or wherever you're at, in Canada, wherever you're at, how many people die in houses due to fires? It doesn't mean you need to be careless, because his chances aren't zero, but they're not 100%. So then you can assess your risk. So, we talk about mass shootings. They're on the rise and all this, and that's true, they are. You're, more likely to die in a mass shooting today than you say in the 60s for a long, long shot. But still, the chances are something like 0.02% or something like that, the last time I looked it up. So I have a client this summer that's going to be going to a concert, and she told me, she goes, I'm afraid that there could be a mass shooting. And I was like, okay, let's look this up. And so we looked it up, mass shooting numbers. And like I said, it was 0.02% chance of being shot in a concert hall. So we did talk about what you can do to prepare, such as making sure you have your COVID vaccines or things like that, but you're probably more likely to catch COVID than you are to get shot. So it's really important to actually look at your actual risk. And how do we do that? Look it up. look at the facts, and then you're like, see, okay, it's not 100%. And remember, even if you're thinking, well, I wasn't thinking it's 100%, you may not be, but your very anxious thinking brain is going, yep, it's a 100% chance. So give it some data and go, oh, and then remind yourself, remind, that it's not 100% your brain. And if you want to learn more about anxiety, I have a course on teaching grounding as a tool for when, these other tools haven't worked. I also teach a course on how to get rid of anxiety thinking altogether. So if you're interested, check it out at morejoyfullife.com. Thank you.